Jeff Norton.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna get it going. It's great to be here. I don't know, guys, 217, let's do it.
Little guys on this side.
I'm not pulling it through, come on. All right. With police, it's so hard to get them to smile. They're always on the job. I mean, my God, my jokes aren't that funny, but especially when you talk to a group of police officers, they never laugh. But anyway, it's great to see everybody here today. Thanks for being here for our team awards. It's called Team Excellence and Merit, and we started a few years ago to recognize some of the nice work that police do, our EMTs do, our fire do, all emergency responders who do it day in and day out without, really, you know, our recipient today is a little bit embarrassed he's here, Jeff LaValle. But I want to thank everybody for what they did and how they sprung into action on that day. Thankfully for Officer LaValle, who was recently retired, it hadn't been that long, that he had a wife who recognized things right away and braved his stepson, who also jumped into action. And it's because of them, each of the people receiving these awards today, and by the grace of God, that, you know, Jeff's alive. And we thank them for that. Team stands for Team Excellence America. We know going alone, we go fast. But going together, we go further. And that's what law enforcement is all about. It's a noble public service when you put yourself out there at risk for the benefit and to help others. And we can never thank you enough for that. And that's the reason we have this award. On the evening of December 17th, Officer Valley was at home with his wife, Sandra Murphy, and his stepson, Braden Ellis, Williams. When he complained of some pain, he said he was going to lie down. So he went to lie down. The timing's everything. My voice doesn't play real well with little kids. Sandra went to go to check on Jeff a little while later. She noticed that he was unresponsive and he was turning purple. He was in his bed. She did not hesitate. It's because of that quick action set off a series of chain of events that led to saving Jeff's life. She called the Sturbridge Police Department. Do that seconds count. She rushed to the in-law apartment where she knew she could find Matthew Schlegel. Matthew, who works as a part-time police officer at the East Brooklyn Police Department, is CPR trained. Matthew rushed upstairs, immediately flew into action to help Officer LaValle. Braden helped Matthew move him to the floor so that they could begin CPR. This was the first time that Matthew had to perform CPR. While Matthew worked, Sturbridge Emergency Communication Unit dispatchers Benjamin Grasso and Aaron Berryfield received this call and began to coordinate the officers on shift to head to the scene. These officers knew, as soon as they heard the address, that they were responding to one of their own, one of their worst nightmares, to one of their own that they had to work and move quickly who was suffering from a medical incident. Officer Garrett Dana was the first to arrive. He had an AED machine, which he used to administer shocks to Officer LaValle. Soon, additional support arrived with Sturbridge Fire Department Lieutenant Paramedic Sean Moyna and firefighter EMT Joseph Delorian. They applied a Lucas machine, LUCAS machine, which continued compressions. Officers Nicole Patterson and Daniel Hemingway weren't far behind. The Department Ambulance Patterson, a medic in the Army Reserves, assisted in the ambulance on the drive to the hospital. Officer Hemingway, the senior officer on the shift and the one who served longest, a long 25-year veteran, Officer LaValle, stayed with Officer LaValle's wife, Sandra, and transferred her to the hospital so that she could be with her husband. Sandra and Braden were also getting our civilian team awards today. I'm happy to announce. This whole crew of first responders had worked together before, but never had it been in circumstances like this, where they knew each other's capabilities and roles, and they would naturally to fill in on one of these calls, but it was for one of their own. They put the training kicked the emotion out the door. Training immediately kicked in and they did their roles. They were asked to put aside that emotion, and they did it in the true professional sense that they are, in the true professionals that they are. Once they get Officer LaValle to the hospital, this survivor was still far from certain. These officers were there for each other as they braced themselves for the worst of news. Yeah, it wasn't the worst news. It was the best news. They found out that Officer LaValle was still with us, that he had a pulse. The next day, they heard he was doing a little bit better. After that, they heard he was coming off the ventilator. And today, Officer LaValle will tell you that he's not quite back to 100%, maybe it's 75 to 80%, but he's working on it. And he's alive because of the actions of everyone involved in this endeavor. It's a miraculous story of recovery. It's nothing short of a miracle. And we're all too happy to be celebrating today all of these responders and civilians for your selfless public service and putting yourselves in harm's way so often for the benefit and to help others. Thank you for your continued service and to the people of town, Sturbridge Town Administrator. I should have brought you up here too. Would you come up here too, please?
This isn't my day, this is all.
It's their day, I agree. But thank you for what you do, and because of that, we're here to honor all of you with our team of work. Okay, we're gonna do these one at a time.
Yes, we have certificates back.
Okay.
So,
Who do you want to start?
so why don't you start with Matthew Sling?
Matthew Schlegel. All right, let's take, who do you want to go first? Lindsay? Oh, here's Sandra. Come on. Nicole Patterson. Danielle Hemingway. Garrett Dana. Take one more while I smile. Thank you. Sean Moyna. Joseph Dodorian. Benjamin Grasso. Aaron Berry. quote on there too?
No.
Okay. Just one second. And there is a quote on this, we get 2 more civilian awards, but before we get to that, it's one of my favorite quotes. It's called "The Man in the Arena." My dad had it in his office, I got into public service because of my dad, and I took that off of his wall, put it on us, but not the critic who counts. Not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles, or where the doer deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man and the woman who's actually in the arena, whose face is marred by sweat and dust and blood, who strives valiantly, or errs, who comes up short again and again, because there is no effort without error in shortcomings, but who does actually strive to do the deeds, who knows great enthusiasms and great devotions, who spends himself in a worthy cause, who at best knows in the end the triumph of high achievement, and who at the worst, if he or she fails, at least feels while daring greatly, so that his or her place shall never be with those cold and timid souls who neither know victory nor defeat. Theodore Roosevelt.
Bring these two up together and have Jeffrey come up.
Could Sandra Murphy and Brady Filios come together, please?
DA. Do you want to have Jeffrey come up too?
Well,
Jeffrey LaValle? Do you want
Did I
to?
forget?
Do you just want to have him come up? You must just want to come up.
Smile, Joe.
That is good. All right, and I just want to thank everyone for being here. These are the stories that we love to tell. These are the stories when you get to reflect, look back on it. The Army calls it another activity review or whatever. You realize what went well, what went wrong, but so much went well in this incident. Jeff, you want to say a couple words?
Obviously, I'm here today because the people stand behind me. I just want to obviously thank my wife and Greg and Matt for getting this whole life-saving thing in motion. And obviously that in turn brings in our first responders, 3 patrol officers, friends of mine, showed up to help me out that day. And obviously advanced life care after that, the EMS personnel. These guys are fantastic. If these things didn't happen the way they did, at the time that they did, between advanced care at the hospital and then intensive care, there and beyond, I would be standing before you all today. Great group of people, professionals, wonderful, love them all. Happy to be here.
No, after Sandra. Okay, Sandra, do you want to say anything? Thank you. Anything.
Just thank you all for everything you did that night. It's here really because of you. If you didn't do everything you did that night, I wouldn't.
I just want to say how tremendously proud I am of all of you. You did an outstanding job. I'm glad that Jeff, you're here for this today. Each and every day these first responders are out here saving lives. Thank you, TA, for taking the time to recognize that, because oftentimes that goes without being noticed. And having this team award and having these people up here to be recognized is well deserved. Thank you, everybody.
I want to echo what Chief Desert said, but I also want to make note of the fact, this is a team award. If you notice, we're all in different uniforms, but we're one team. So congratulations to all of you. Good job.
It really is humbling to be around so many great people. They don't even like to smile, don't even like that. But thank you for being here to recognize us today. Thank you, everybody involved. What you did, it lasts forever. Thank you so much. Are we good? You have any questions for the recipients? Or you want to catch them after? All right. Thank you, everybody.
Coffee and donuts.
Thank you.